The No New Friends podcast is brought to you by Sandpiper Vacations. For the best in vacation plannings, just visit www.sandpipervacations.com. Let them know that the No New Friends podcast sent you. I bring her to the vet, and first
I'm sorry, is that a turnoff for you when they get fixed?
Take her to the vet, and they put her on the scale, and like she's probably the shortest of the three dogs that we have. So I'm thinking, she's gonna weigh like when I was trying to make appointments, they're like, well, we don't take any dogs over 50. And I was like, I think she's like slightly over 50 pounds. So it's probably not gonna work. I'll find something else. So we get her on the scale. Chris, 82 pounds this dog weighs.
Slightly over 50.
Slightly over 50. So the vet comes in and is like, hey, your dog's in pretty good health, but she is obese. So we're going to have to put her on a diet or something. Like, is she getting a lot of treats? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe I
usually feed my guests the treats.
Broadcasting from the Sandpiper Vacation Studios. It's time for the No New Friends podcast. The podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. The good, the bad, and the funny.
Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's showtime. It's showtime.
Like the guys said, we are the No New Friends podcast. You can connect with us. All of our social media links are on our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. We are recording live right now for the YouTube. You can watch us live on YouTube, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single Wednesday. And then on most Wednesdays, some Wednesdays, occasionally, Sarah, Lewis, Darren, and I go live on the TikTok from the Disney Universal Studios theme park, so follow us there. My name is Scott. I'm the host. With me, as always, my incredible cast of characters, the scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris.
Indubitably.
The Jewish American princess, Sarah.
Hello.
Sitting in for our emotional support gay Nick is the wise man, Darren.com.
I'm not back.
And our producer, Alex.
Hold on.
So that's Darren and I, a separate occasion, saw Twisters this week.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I can't wait to be able to go back to the movies in a couple years.
So, I love the movie Twister so much. It's so bad. It's so cheesy. And it's exactly what this movie was. There was zero
reviews.
It's getting great reviews.
Yeah.
It's the #1 disaster movie on an opening weekend ever.
Yeah, it's because Glenn Powell.
Is that why?
Yeah, he's hot. So they're just all flocking to him.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I guess. But there's no cameos. There's no real fan service to the original, except for they make these subtle nods where it's like, if you're a true fan of the original, you pick up on it.
Do they have a cow?
Yeah, they're not subtle.
Well, some of them are in your face.
Chris, there's no cow.
There were not a lot of fan service, but there were some, subtle nods if you were a fan of the first one.
Not subtle.
Like what?
What do you mean?
No.
Okay. Sarah, you saw it?
No, but I saw the trailer. That's all I need to know. I am a huge fan of this movie. All right. It is always on. And first of all, Bill Paxton is dead, guys. We don't make another Twister when Bill Paxton is dead.
Well, his son was in it.
I don't care.
Okay.
I didn't know that, but I still don't care because I feel like from watching the trailer, a lot of the lines that they used were from the first movie or the original.
Not really. There's a couple. And that's what I said. There's a couple of subtle nods, but
holy shit, he's dead?
Bill Paxton?
Yeah,
I didn't even know who he was,
but
I know his face. He's got that face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right on the dot, too.
My top 3 favorite movies are Bill Paxton affiliated.
And he's one of the worst actors ever. Rest in peace.
I just don't feel that.
What are your favorite movies? Nightcrawler?
Terminator?
No. Titanic.
Twister?
Okay.
He's in Titanic.
Twister. Yeah.
Okay.
He's literally okay. Never mind.
The guy that has the ice.
He's the guy who is searching for the jewel of the sea.
I've never seen.
You've
Titanic.
never seen Titanic?
What?
I read a book about it. I read a book about it. I know what. Why would I need to watch a movie that I know what happens?
Because there's a whole love story. What is wrong with you?
Why would you insert fake stuff into history?
It doesn't even matter, Chris. It's the sheer fact that it is the most historically accurate. Actually,
I thought it was a fictional movie.
I hate you.
Well, it is a.
How is that historically accurate?
The Titanic hit an iceberg and it sank. Historically accurate.
Everything is historically accurate about that movie except for the love story.
Okay, so I watched Jurassic Park. They fly to the island in helicopters. That's historically accurate. People fly in helicopters every day. Dinosaurs are brought back to life.
They don't fly to a make-believe island.
That's not a make-believe island.
Isla Nublar does not exist.
No, I mean, that's here nor there. That's listen,
it's based in some truth.
It's like based on
kind
true
of like
events.
Trump's candidacy. Okay, so Sarah, what's your third favorite? Let me guess. True Lies.
No, you're never going to guess this.
Terminator.
It's. I do love Terminator, but no.
Boxing Helena.
It is directed by Bill Paxton, and it is the greatest game ever played.
It's a sex tape.
Oh.
It is a
Football.
movie about
Is
golf.
it the name of the movie?
A movie about golf.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's very good and it's very well made. It's actually a Disney movie. It's a Shia LaBeouf movie. However,
the greatest game ever played. I think the greatest scam ever played. Did anybody else hear scam?
No, I thought greatest gay, and I was like, well, that's Nick. But anyway,
nobody plays Nick.
You know, Sarah, I forgot that you play golf. We've talked about this, and you and I need to hit the links. We'll have Lewis carry the clubs. It'll be a fun day. We'll do that one day instead of the parks. Live stream that.
I would actually love to. I don't have anybody to go golfing with.
I will. Sarah's so careful with what she says. She's so careful because she was about to say, I have no one to play with. And she's the smart one of us.
I was.
She's the smart one. So, Chris put out this, sorry, we're jumping around, but like a lot has happened that I forgot to tell because Chris, nobody answers me anymore. Like I'm pretty much dead to all of you.
I thought you were dead.
Like correct. It's like Joe Biden.
I was very happy to see you tonight.
Like Darren doesn't acknowledge my presence. So now I know what he's felt like for 22 years. So Chris, you put out that brilliant Instagram reel with Joe Biden walking into Taco Bell and dropping a fart, right?
Waffle House, but yes.
And then he released it.
Right. So someone commented this week, and I don't know if anybody saw this, but they're like, I bet the three of you just beat off to Sarah and all of your beards don't hide your fat mugs. And I'm like,
wait,
wow.
What?
And I was like, I don't think all three of us do. One of us is gay. But thank you for the assumption.
Somebody said
that?
I don't see any of this stuff, which is funny because that must mean that they went to the profile and watched. I mean, they did what was intended.
Right. Yes. Thank you for your service.
That's the first time.
I guess.
Yeah. Wow.
So, Sarah,
that's pretty graphic.
Right? I know.
They knew my name?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh, see, now that's weird.
Yeah.
They spent a lot of time on our thing. Because I have like 45 clips that have nothing to do with our podcast buried on top of like clips of us.
That's what I'm saying. You kind of have to dig to find clips of us.
Also, Sarah, you have to zoom in to see the names. That's true. Like we don't call each other. Like we don't directly like Sarah. Guess what I did today?
Unless they looked on
Scott,
the profile
guess what I did
and
today?
it says join Scott, Chris, Nick, and Sarah.
Well, how do they know? Are they assuming our genders?
Maybe. You're right.
Chris could be a girl's name.
Could be.
I could be Sarah.
Could be.
That's true.
Could be.
I could be Sarah.
It was posted by Ryan _ the Disney nerd. So. So, Sarah, are you going to go see Twisters? I would see it. You're going to like it. I think you're going to like it.
I'm not. Okay. I've sworn it off, to be honest. As soon as I saw the first trailer, I swore it off. I will not pay to see this movie. I'll wait until it's on streaming, which I still pay for, but
But Sarah, it is so good in the theaters. I really, really liked it. And I love the movie Twister. I worked at Twister at Universal. So did Remy because Remy's worked everywhere. but I love the movie Twister. I can quote it. I put Twister quotes in my everyday conversations. This was a really good movie. Not as quotable, not as classic, but really good.
And if you see it in 40X, they'll actually hit you with debris.
Debris?
I saw those videos. So it was like before seeing Twister in 40X. And then after, they're like disheveled, like their clothes are all ripped up and stuff.
Now, I am doing something tomorrow that I have never done in my entire life.
Have sex with your wife.
Then hopefully, we'll see. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. And see, that holds up because we don't have any kids together. So, like, you know. Yeah, it holds up.
Prove it.
Wait a minute.
The joke holds up.
Carry the two.
Yeah. Any other guesses? I'm doing something. Darren, you can't guess because you know.
Got a haircut. Lost weight. Got a good report from the doctor.
Okay, this game is dumb. I am going to see a movie by myself tomorrow. Yeah.
Deadpool 2.
Deadpool 3.
3.
Yeah.
So it's...
Clearly you don't listen to the Nerd Archive podcast.
We'll be there. There's going to be 5 of us there.
Well, not with me. Which showing are you going to tomorrow?
Are you driving to Daytona?
Hell no.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Which showing are you going to?
7 o'clock.
3:15 in 3D, motherfuckers.
Oh, well, we don't do 3D.
Oh, why not?
We don't do
no one does 3D.
Oh, I'm doing 3D.
Yeah.
We get like the Dolby Atmos, whatever that is, and the reclining seats, and I bring a blanket. And,
Yeah.
Give Lewis a hand job.
Whoa.
what?
Go to see it. They're going with their kids, dude.
Oh,
No, we're
A
not.
public place.
We're going with Lola, Justin, and Lola's boyfriend. So 3/4 of the Nerd Archive crew. Yeah, we like him.
You're allowing Lola to bring a significant other than you?
Actually, he's bonded more with Lewis, so we still have a thing. It's perfect. This was really the intention all along, so.
So I can't wait to talk about it. Now, Chris, when are you going to see it? Because you've got something that's ruined your life for the next 18 years.
Well, no, sore subject. I got the green light to go tomorrow at 8:30.
Okay.
And then with my brother-in-law, my future brother-in-law, my sister's fiance. And,
thank you for 3 different explanations as to who he is.
Wow. So sorry for putting truth over falsehood, Scott. I am pro-democracy on this podcast. But anyway, so he can't go now.
What?
Yeah, so I was going to go to my first movie by myself tomorrow as well. But then he said, "Hey, do you think we could switch it?" And the reason why he can't go, I can't talk about because it's a huge surprise because someone's getting engaged. So I can't talk about it. So, but he has to go to this after party, right? Yeah.
Like he's going to watch them have sex. That's the only significant thing that happens after an engagement.
There's this weird thing now, Scott, with millennials, not millennials. I'm sorry. Whatever is after the millennials, Gen Zers.
Jared,
you know all about this then.
Yeah,
you get engaged,
straws.
you have to have a party after, like directly after the engagement. Like there's a party now. It's weird.
How do you coordinate that?
This is an assumption
I know.
as yes.
Yeah,
I know.
Right? And
Yeah, what if they say no?
hold on for a
Could have
second.
had an open evening for first night showing.
Before we go on to this, I had to postpone, and because he loves Deadpool, and he was so excited to go with me. So we're going next Thursday.
There's going to be so many spoilers.
I muted every single possible Marvel character and word on my Twitter so that I don't see anything. I don't even see it when I refresh my page. I see tweets from like 7 years ago because I muted so many words on there. But anyway, yes, you don't only get engaged now. You get engaged, then you have an engagement party. And it's like required, and it's like usually like on the same day as the engagement. So it's all planned. Like you don't plan on just engaging the person, proposing to the person.
Right, getting engaged, right.
Thing. Yeah. You have to now coordinate with all friends of the engagee to do some sort of a party or celebration immediately following.
I have so many questions about this.
Go ahead.
Because typically,
right,
it is the guy proposing to the woman.
Sure.
Typically. Not always, and that's okay, but typically. So that means that the man who is incapable of planning anything except for a fantasy football draft or a poker night now has to coordinate a party.
Oh, well, that's why it's taking place at a bar and it was planned 3 days ago. So there's your answer.
They've got to put it in like the fiance's mom's hand. Like, hey, you got to plan this.
Yeah. So
the best friend, the fiance's best friend.
Oh, so there you go. Chris, could you?
Now I'm seeing it.
Could you plan
August
a party?
1st. I just had a party. I just did plan a party.
Could you? Oh, that's right. You had a surprise party.
I did. It was not a surprise party. I wanted to do a surprise party, but with a 1-month-old, I was not doing any surprises. There was no shot I was throwing Emily a surprise party. Yeah.
Sarah, could Lewis put together a engagement party immediately following the proposal?
Probably.
Oh,
Lewis is making like 40 pounds of.
I'm putting faith in him. You see, I hesitated, but probably
not gay, Hispanic, which like is basically the same thing. So yeah, they throw parties all the time. So no big deal.
Yeah, he would probably end up asking somebody else to assist.
Okay. Why is he? So Lewis is not even watching us right now.
Is he not?
No, he's playing like Grand Theft Auto.
He's playing.
Just about to say GTA.
What do you want? Need for Speed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, are you driving a Honda Civic?
He is watching us. He's watching us on one screen and has Need for Speed on the other.
Listening to Louis Fonzi.
You souping up your Subaru over there, Lewis.
I do own a Honda Civic though.
He drives a Honda Civic Sport. What are you driving right now on there?
Evo.
Oh, what? Oh, an Evo. Yeah, he's been looking at them for our entire relationship.
I know. He keeps entering all these contests on Instagram. I started entering them for him. Like I put my name in, and then I just put in the notes, not for me, for a friend.
Does Lewis
save me like 20 grand if you win?
I'm trying.
So,
listen, I'm trying. I'm trying my best.
Does Lewis have the neon lights under his car with the spinny rims?
No.
Is that a thing anymore? Or is that a 90s thing?
No. You see them more around here on the trucks. Not the spinning wheels.
The neon?
But the neon lights.
Does he have the hydraulics?
No.
Do you think this is Fast and Furious? What? Do you think we live in a world with Fast and Furious?
No, I don't. But I lived in the 90s.
What's the 90s?
Speaking of the 90s, Sarah, I found a documentary that I think you would love. Were you into boy bands at all?
Yeah.
So there's a new Lou Pearlman documentary that's all about like the Backstreet on the Netflix.
On the Netflix.
Yes. Yeah, all about the Backstreet Boys. It's more about like his scam, but the whole first episode is like the history of the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC.
Yeah, I used to have my mom went and did a test drive one time on a Dodge Intrepid back in the day, right? And in the back seat, shoved in the cushions, was a Hit Clips. Do you remember those?
Hit Clips.
Oh,
Hit Clips.
I still have mine.
Do you? I'm sure my mom kept it.
45 seconds of a song.
Yep. And I had the little stereo one. And the guy that worked there was like, hey, you can have it. It's fine. I was probably, I don't know, 7 or 8. And every year for like birthday, Hanukkah, whatever it was, I would get a package of Hit Clips. And I think what's on there right now is Britney Spears, NSYNC, and Backstreet Boys, and some Sugar Ray.
That's what I have.
That's what I listen to.
Yeah.
I do.
I'd rollerblade up and down the street and I'd have the ear one. And I would listen to Backstreet Boys 30 seconds and I just have to keep pressing play.
Yep.
I do remember these, but I was a little bit older and I wouldn't have had these. I had a cell phone that like you had to pay $1.99 for a ringtone.
Oh, yeah.
I just saw something on Facebook today that said, I can't believe I came from a generation that paid for ringtones. Yeah. And if that thing went off today, I would throw it against a wall.
Right.
And I completely resonate with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Hit Clips. That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Oh, where'd you say this documentary was?
On the Netflix.
Oh, that's crazy. You know what else is about to be on Netflix?
I do not.
Monday Night Raw. Chris, are you excited for SummerSlam?
Oh yeah, I'm actually have my wrestling cup. I've been drinking my margarita out of it.
Sarah,
I've been
if you want to
drinking
grab snacks or something.
Through mommy.
Through mommy.
Yeah. Scott, you're still into wrestling?
No, that was like when Darren moved back in, and like I was like, cool, let's bond. And now he doesn't care about me anymore, so I don't really want.
Well, yeah, you stopped watching wrestling with me.
Which came first?
Do you even know that they're coming? Like SmackDown's coming to Orlando?
No.
Not I was wanting to go. Yeah, we probably don't.
Scott, you should go and stream from there.
Just paid for California.
That would be a good streaming opportunity.
Who paid for California?
Anyway,
California?
so I had to take my dog to the vet this week, right? Where I had to take her for a consultation.
Don't they come to your house?
Yes,
no, that's the groomers.
No. The vet also comes to the house because we have the 4 large dogs. Well,
your wife lets your vet do that.
Anyway, so we have to get her fixed. Like, she hasn't been fixed.
Messy?
This is Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
So we bring her in.
Oh, so you're keeping the dog. It's not a foster dog anymore.
I don't want Alex to cut that.
Or are you like you're fixing it like it's like a fixer upper, like you're flipping the dog, like you're making improvements to make it more marketable so that someone will take it.
Let's change the subject.
Okay, so yes, we're fixing her up for the next owners. So we bring her. I bring her to the vet, and first,
I'm sorry, is that a turn off for you when they get fixed?
Take her to the vet, and they put her on the scale, and like she's probably the shortest of the 3 dogs that we have. So I'm thinking, she's gonna weigh like when I was trying to make appointments, they're like, well, we don't take any dogs over 50. And I was like, I think she's like slightly over 50 pounds. So it's probably not going to work. I'll find something else. So we get her on the scale. Chris, 82 pounds this dog weighs.
Slightly over 50.
Slightly over 50. So the vet comes in and is like, hey, your dog's in pretty good health, but she is obese. So we're going to have to put her on a diet or something. Like, is she getting a lot of treats? And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe like
I usually feed my guests the treats.
I'm like, I don't know, 2 or 3 treats per day. And so I'm telling Rachel this, and she's like, no, that bitch gets like 10 treats a day. And I'm like, oh my God, like her calorie intake is supposed to be 740 calories per day. These dog treats are 45 calories each. She's getting 10. That's 450 of the 700 calories that she's supposed to intake. I'm like, no wonder she's a fat ass. Jesus.
Did the vet say obese or a beast?
Both. Both, because they were trying to find like her pulse, and they're like, geez, this thing's thick. I did not say that's what she said, because that's a sensitive subject for me. So yeah, my dog is obese. We're probably going to get it. It's a heartbreaking story that I really don't want to talk about. But she's.
I mean, it's not really heartbreaking that your dog's obese.
No, not that.
It's heartbreaking that I'm going to have to get rid of her.
You hate that dog.
No, I did. I did hate that dog when she tried to bite off my finger.
And your other dog's fingers, yeah.
Yeah, but now I love this dog. Anyway.
Well, it's because it has the same name as like every stripper in Polk County.
I think all of my dogs have stripper names. Linda, I mean, that's Jack. Like usually the only
70s stripper, maybe.
What?
Like a 70s stripper.
Yeah, like a 70s stripper, like full bush and everything. 70s stripper, Linda.
Yep.
And then Jack, like Ruby, if it was a male stripper.
Jack would be and then I could see that.
Brantley, a male stripper in England.
Brantley's such a stripper name.
Yeah, in England.
That could be a woman. A muscular woman.
Yeah, like in a lesbian bar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Do they have lesbian bars?
They do have lesbian bars.
Really?
I don't know that they have lesbian strip clubs. I think they just call them strip clubs.
Yeah, I guess you have a good point there. I guess that's.
You guys ready to play Jersey Man, Florida Man?
Yeah. Yes.
Sure.
Whether flipping a fan, boat, or crown. crash in a truck. These states are filled with people who suck. So it's time for us to play New Jersey Man versus Florida Man.
Every week, Game Master Ryan brings us 2 news stories. One is from Jersey, one is from Florida. It is up to us to determine which one is which. Take it away, Ryan.
Hey guys, this is Ryan, coming to you from the No New Friends newsroom located this week at the airport. Scott and Darren asked me to pick them up after their Disneyland trip, so I'm just waiting for their flight to land. This place is more crowded than Nick's toxicity report. So I guess you and Sarah have ADHD? Well, welcome to the club. We've been trying to have a meeting about what color ribbon to use, but we just keep forgetting to do it. Well, Nick, I know you were recently diagnosed with ADHD, but when did they diagnose you as gay? I'm just playing, Nick. Everybody knew you were gay from the very beginning. And everyone knew when you started getting sexually active because your farts stopped making sounds. I bet you're wondering why Sarah couldn't pick up Scott and Darren. Well, she's in the middle of the move, and they still don't know where they're moving to. If she's not careful, she's going to spend the next 40 years wandering the desert following a guy in sandals. I'm sorry, that was a bad joke. I probably should have passed over it. Chris couldn't help because he's taking care of the baby, also known as playing video games. No, Chris, I'm glad to hear your baby's doing better. And now she's 3 months old. She's laughing. That's funny because this podcast has been going on for a little over 3 years and still nobody's laughing. Oh, look, there's Scott now. Jesus Christ, Scott, you're wearing a Loungefly and a Spirit jersey through the airport being guided around by your son? Did the pilot offer to let you see the cockpit?
They did.
How many times did he call you champ or sport? Maybe he offered you a sticker that said co-pilot? If you looked more physically handicapped, Sean would probably flirt with you. Scott's still whining about his TikTok streams not doing well. Scott, just do like you did with parenting. Give up and maybe take it back up 20 years later. Scott, if you're here, who's commenting, "Hey, beautiful" on thirst videos on Instagram? Scott said he had to ride a bus to get to this side of the airport. Last time Scott was on a bus, he had to yell at that loudmouth lady to get in the back. Scott was saying that he maybe saw a murder. Said he heard a bang and a woman screaming. I guess he's just not used to hearing a woman screaming while banging. Well, I better get Scott and Darren home. Scott said it would be nice to be driven around by somebody who actually speaks English. So while I do that, let's get into this week's Florida Man or Jersey Man.
Fuck.
So for our first story, a man drives into a jail. And for our second story, a woman sues after she falls into a dangerous hole.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we've got driving into a jail and a dangerous hole.
A woman hole, if you will.
Woman hole, if you will. Yeah, yeah.
It is pretty ambitious of Ryan to claim that he can speak English.
I know. Right? I'm thinking the same thing. I think that was the irony of the joke.
Yeah.
All right. So, Sarah, you know things about holes. What's your guess?
Great segue. Jail, Florida. Hole, Jersey.
Okay. Darren?
I'm going to say woman hole, Florida, jail, Jersey.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to go jail, Jersey.
I'm going to go jail, Florida, and woman hole, which I don't even remember what that article was about. Woman hole, the other one. Let's find out the answer. I forget what my guess was.
So our first story is from Florida, where deputies said a man intentionally drove through the front doors of a Florida jail, poured oil on the ground, and dropped several rubber snakes, according to the sheriff's office. Maybe this guy took too much ADHD medication and thought he was Jesus. So that means our second story is from New Jersey, where a woman who says she fell into an open manhole cover in a Wawa parking lot has filed a lawsuit against the company. I bet Nick's fallen into a couple of manholes. Here you go, Scott. Here's a dangerous hole you could climb in and not have to worry about having another Darren happen. And in other news, it looks like Celine Dion is going to be performing at the Olympics this year. Celine hasn't performed in a while because she has stiff person syndrome. Scott's been struggling with soft man syndrome for the last couple of years now. It's really affected his performance. That's it for me this week, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you so much, Ryan.
I'm sure the stiff person syndrome was a really offensive, hilarious joke that I have to look into. And I'll understand it after I look it up on Reddit.
There you go. Please report back.
So,
yes,
speaking about Reddit, I do want to...
Oh, hold on, Chris.
I was just going to tell him that's why she hasn't, because her vocal cords are like not, I guess they're not cooperating is what I was. Offensive. She can't, she's like super sick. Oh. And she hasn't been performing. So that's why it's a big deal.
I feel so bad.
We love Celine Dion. If you watch Titanic, anyways, never mind. What were you going to say?
Is she in the book? So
she was on the ship. Historic.
Speaking of
when the Titanic went down,
up,
this is how historically accurate Titanic is. When the boat was going down, you could hear "My Heart Will Go On" back in 1912.
Your heart?
My heart will go on.
Your heart will not go on much longer. Oh, it's a song. Okay.
By Celine Dion with stiff man syndrome.
Gotcha. So speaking of Reddit, I went down a Reddit rabbit hole on, I guess this was Saturday night. So it had been about 5 days since we saw President Joe Biden in public. And within that time, he made a historic announcement saying that he was going to drop out of the race. And he didn't say it. He just tweeted it out, right? Like just tweeted it out with a signature on it.
Did he tweet? He doesn't know how to use a smartphone.
That's the thing. That's the thing, right? So we see that it's like, does he know that he dropped out, right? And then I was like, you know what? Like, this isn't enough chaos. Assassination attempt. President dropping out of race with like what 90
assassination
days
staging. Let's call it what it is.
So I'm like, I haven't had enough chaos in my news cycle. Let's go over to the weird side of the internet. So I started looking into conspiracy theories, and there was these.
I forgot.
There was these people.
Hold on. Okay. Continue.
Oh my god.
Wait.
Oh my god.
I meant to come on with a maxi pad on my ear and I completely forgot. So.
You meant to come on him. Oh.
And then he meant to start the show with a maxi pad.
Wrong ear. Disrespectful.
That's
the right ear.
Some point.
Disrespectful. So I went on to Reddit and there were these people that truly believed that Joe Biden was dead. and that like,
valid.
So I was reading all these conspiracy theories. There were conspiracies saying that he suffered a medical emergency in Las Vegas and their Metro Police have contacted me and said this, that, the other. I kid you not. I was on no earlier than 2:30 in the morning reading these conspiracy theories. And I had the greatest time when I saw him, come out of his whatever it was, limousine or whatever on yesterday, which was
and then when he walked out of the limousine.
Monday or Tuesday.
So the AI video of President Biden coming up.
Yeah, I was like, this has got to be a robot or an animatronic, right? Because I still want to believe, as much as I know the truth and as much as I don't believe conspiracy theories, I'm on the verge of just believing every conspiracy theory I ever read, because I'm realizing that most of them, not all of them, I'm not condoning stagings of mass murders and stuff, but like stuff like this, oh man, it's so much more fun to believe that Joe Biden suffered a medical emergency, passed away, and is now a hologram in the White House, or is he even in the White House? Are these pre-recorded? Because everything leading up to his address today was like they made it. It was a conspiracy theorist's dream. I mean, what the tweeting out of the letter, right?
The whole last month has been a conspiracy theorist dream.
And then him calling in, like the audio, him calling into Kamala's headquarters, and then Kamala saying, "Oh, Joe Biden, I know you're still on the phone call," and like her almost sounding like she said recording. Like everything just was just so fun to just follow all these insane people online. I have. I sent you this, Scott. I didn't tell anybody else this. I got so deep into these conspiracy things. Like, where else could I go to read more conspiracies? I made an account on Truth Social, which is Trump's Twitter, and I was not going to have my name associated with that. So I made Bubba Job an account. So if you go on Truth Social, you can follow at Bubba Job. And it says American Patriot from the Gambia. And I photoshopped the picture of Trump with his fist in the air after the assassination attempt with Bubba Job's face on one of the Secret Service agents and the Gambian flag flying in the background instead of the American flag.
I'm surprised.
I've had so much fun. It has been so much fun. No, not yet.
I don't think black people are allowed on Truth Social.
No, I haven't truthed anything out yet. They're called truths on there. And it's so funny. It's so funny. You can re-truth people and
not re-truth.
Yeah, it's like you can truth something out or re-truth somebody out. Yeah, I've had the best time on the conspiracy side of the internet.
Are you truth verified yet?
I am not, but I am. I am a subscriber to Info. I'm a subscriber to Infowars.
Okay,
I'm totally bought in on everything and anything Alex Jones. Alex Jones predicted Joe Biden dropping out to the day, so I believe everything he says.
Good, yes. Everything that man says is the truth.
Yeah.
Sarah, how's the move going?
We took a break for the last 2 days because we went out of town.
Oh, where'd you go?
We went to Savannah.
Okay. Did you
Africa?
It felt like it.
Oh, because of the
heat. That came out bad. Sorry.
I was gonna say.
Not all of Africa's hot, Sarah.
Yeah, some parts of North Africa.
It's a continent.
I would assume that the Savannah in Africa is hot.
I get that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. Did you hang out with Remy? Because Remy was there.
Remy was there for his anniversary.
Remy was there, but I don't think he was there the last 2 days. No, we didn't hang out with him, though.
Okay. Spoiler alert. The answer is no. So what'd you do in Savannah? Did you do the Savannah tour and go see the Forrest Gump bench?
No, we've done that all before. We did, we
ghost
just
tours?
Wandered around. We did a ghost tour.
Okay, good.
Last night. Yeah, that was traumatizing for the kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, we went because they wanted to go. This was all them. They love that stuff. And let me tell you, we did this ghost tour. You're on the trolley. You get out at one point. You get to go into one of these beautiful historic homes that's supposedly very haunted. It was beautiful. Get back on the trolley, drive around a little bit more, and then you end your ghost tour in this chandlery is what it's called. And chandlery.
Is that a racist thing?
Is that like a museum for Matthew Perry?
For Chandlers?
That's awful. They use it
like Whirlpool
as like a general store in the 1700s. It's awful.
Sarah's gonna walk out on this again.
How do I get on from that?
Thought I was muted.
Alex, cut that.
Continue, Sarah. Don't mind us. We're children.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. No, we ended up going in there. They showed us a few things. It was cool. And then they shuffle us all into this room and they do that funnel effect. Like we get at all the rides at Disney. Mm-hmm. So we decided to hang back. So of course we get these spots in the very back corner where we're sitting down. And all of a sudden, when I booked this tour,
the tour guide's like, that's where all the blacks used to sit.
That's awful. When I booked this tour,
the tour guide said that, not me.
You just did.
Scott was there too. When I booked this tour, it said that you were gonna experience things that were like that used all of your senses, right? You're gonna smell things, see things, feel things, whatever.
Well,
so I thought to myself, this is yeah, well, I didn't.
How would you know what an orgasm feels like?
Okay, Darren, at one point in my life, I had to have had at least 3.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago.
Okay, continue, Sarah. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I don't even remember where I was at.
All right, so you forgot where you were because of the weed, but you were in the back of the room.
Oh, yeah, that was the weed this time. Okay.
You were in the back of the room on this tour.
So we were supposed to be, it said when I booked the tour, you're going to be using all your senses, right? So I thought to myself, all right, it's because you're on a ghost tour. So you might feel something, see something, whatever. No, they bring you into this room and it's a freaking show. And we didn't know it. We're sitting in the room and the tour guide starts hearing a cat outside and she was so good. I was convinced. She was like, what is that? And somebody's pointing like, I think it's a cat outside. She's like, okay, well, give me a second then. I guess I'm so sorry. And she walked outside. Door slams, lights come, they turn off. The thunder starts all around you. I'm like, what is going on? That's it. We're all the way in the back. All of a sudden, windows start opening and shutting, and there's stuff going on everywhere, and the girls start crying. Jordan fell off the bench we were sitting on. It was a whole thing. They gave us paper fans before we got on the bus or on the trolley, and at the end of this little presentation, we get out and Jordan looks at me and she goes, I had to cover my ears, so I was chewing on my fan, and it's just chewed all the way around the edge. So she said, I really hope I don't end up having nightmares all night.
Oh my gosh. All that because of a cat?
It started with a cat, guys. That was it.
Most
Everything was fine. We were driving around. Well, you know, you got to have it. That's why. I hear no complaints behind me. Where's the thumbs up? Thank you. Slacking over here. Everything ended up fine once we had an iPad in our hand. No, of course not. Just need support. That's all. When he starts doing something, you know, you got to keep up with the whole thing.
Right.
But everything was fine. We had 2 kids that slept very soundly because they had to walk all day and in the heat. So, but yeah, it was an experience for sure. So
when's their first therapy session?
I don't think we're going to need one, because this morning at breakfast, Sophia was on her phone looking at the videos that she took in the house. And she's like, I think I caught a ghost. Look right here. She said there were orbs. She said they were going to be this color and this kind of the whole thing. And she's like, I got them. I'm like, okay, we're good. She's fine.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a great time, though. Only took 3 hours to drive there, Remy. Just want to follow up that last week it was going to take 5 hours. So
3 hours. Well, the Honda Civic moves a lot faster than whatever Remy's got.
I was driving too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, you kind of have to follow the rules of the road in Georgia. So I booked it through Florida, and then once I got to Georgia, I had to not break the speed limit.
You had a brown person in the car. Absolutely slow down.
Well,
I've missed you guys over the last couple weeks at the parks. We were riding Expedition Everest today, and so when you go down that big drop, someone in the front row lost their hat, and I was 5 inches away from catching it. Like, that could have been my moment where I saved the day. I caught some little girl's hat, but I missed it.
You said 5 inches, but in behind closed doors, Scott says I was my double penis away from getting the hat.
Do we have anything else before?
Because his penis is 2.5 inches.
Thank you for the math lesson. I appreciate that. Chris, you had a visitor this week.
I did.
How'd that go? Tell us all about it.
So Dane and his wonderful, wonderful girlfriend came over. I could not say, I don't know what I'm talking. I feel like Joe Biden.
No,
I feel like I'm reading off a teleprompter. It's just like, stop. I just wanted to say how great. Yeah, I just wanted to say how great Dane's girlfriend.
Well, you texted all of us, and you're like, I met Dane's girlfriend. She was amazing.
She was great.
Super cool.
Yeah, because look, me and Emily are 29 and 30 years old. We go over someone's house. We bring nothing but ourselves, right? We don't know how to.
Behave.
We don't know
Jesus.
how to. We don't know. No. So she comes.
Yeah, you're from Jersey. So
she comes. She baked us cookies. She gave us this huge. It wasn't more than a gallon. It was like 2 gallons of this homemade tea that she plucked fresh mint from her garden and boiled it down. And yeah, that's still in my fridge. Delicious. I was drinking it the whole time. Woke up 3 days later. Now, anyway, so this really nice homemade tea, baked cookies, which were delicious, and bought us whoopie pies, which are a delicacy in the area that they're from. And
there's a it's Pennsylvania.
Yeah, well, it's made by the Amish. Anything made by the Amish is kissed by God or a delicacy. Yeah. Yeah. So they came over super early. So Dane said
I come super early.
Dane said he'd be at my house at 3, and they came around 11 a.m. Right, so they
visited your house at 11.
So listen, we had a long night with the baby. Emily was out. She had to run out to get stuff at the grocery store. So I needed a shower. So I'll put a picture in the chat right now of Dane and his
when Chris
girlfriend.
Pulls the shower curtain back, there's Dane in his hat and in his suit.
So like, guys, I don't know how to tell you this, but like, I need to shower. Like it's been a few days. And wasn't expecting you guys. I just sent a picture in the chat. This was the picture I took before I left Dane and his girlfriend alone with my child while I went and got a shower. And I was nice about it. I usually take a very, very long shower. It was a 45-minute long shower.
No, that's short.
I cut it shorter than the usual hour shower. So I did, I went to the bathroom in peace. I did my crossword puzzle on my New York Times app.
Didn't put out a short like I asked.
No, I did not. I was under pressure. So if I had 15 extra minutes, I would have. So I left them alone with the baby.
This is the day that Biden drops out of the race. And I immediately text Chris. I'm like, I need 5 shorts from you in the next 10 minutes. And he's can't do. Dane's on his way. I'm like, he'll understand.
Yeah. So I trust that. So listen.
We don't get very many opportunities to capitalize on history, Chris.
Dane is no older than 16 years old.
I think he's 17 now.
I think he's at least 17. His girlfriend's a little younger. And I was like, listen, I met this guy for 2 hours before in person. I've talked with this man online for quite some time now. I was like, yeah, you look fit to hold my baby. If a guy who can't remember that he's introducing the president of Ukraine and accidentally introduces him as the president of Russia is running our country, you can hold my baby.
In all fairness,
take care of my baby.
The very first time I meet you and your wife, you stayed at my house.
We stayed at your house.
Yeah.
So it was feeding time. So I did heat up some formula. Okay. That's
it was feeding time for you or for the baby?
For the both, actually. I ate in the shower. The baby ate in the arms of sweet Dane. So I mixed up the formula and I said to Dane, my microwave's in the kitchen, put it on for 45 seconds, squirt it on your arm, make sure that it's warm enough and feed it to the baby.
And then put the baby bottle on your arm.
So I went up, got the shower. Emily was still not home. 45 minutes go by, I come back down, they're gone. I have no idea where they went. Dane, if you're watching this, please call me. I'm just kidding. He's locked in my basement. I wasn't letting him leave. I come down and the baby's fine. Listen, Dane is a great caretaker and his girlfriend even better. They are the most wonderful people. They are the most beautiful Amish couple I've ever seen in my life. They have indoctrinated my daughter in the life of the Amish. I came down. My daughter was in this sweet little bonnet. They were teaching her how to churn butter.
She's finally getting her Amish roots.
They turned off they unplugged all the electric devices. In fact, he doesn't even. I told him to microwave the thing. He doesn't even use a microwave, so he just rubbed it in between in between his hands, like he was making a fire to heat up the formula because they don't use electricity. And it was the sweetest thing. And I needless to say, I was going to make my sister and her fiance the godparents of my daughter. It's going to be Dane and his girlfriend now.
Good move.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust anybody else more with the life of my child than Dane and his girlfriend. We had a great time.
That's awesome.
He's still here, actually. I asked him to move in. Was there a weapon involved? Maybe. I don't know. But they said yes. They've been here ever since.
So is this like a sub basement of like my dad's basement?
They connect
because that's where you are. Oh, they connect. Okay.
Yeah. Beautiful time. Great time. We did play Jackbox.
Oh, nice.
And then we also played that Jackbox Party 8. It's a game on the computer.
There's 8 now?
There's 10. There's 10. Yeah, we played the 12. We played the one that was that originated like 300 or 400 years ago in the Amish community.
Chris, you got any cliff notes?
I do.
It's been quite the show. A lot of stuff's happened, so nothing can stop this little boy from recapping the day the Chris's Cliff's Notes way.
Start off the week, weekend. Joe Biden, President of the United States, dropped out of the presidential race. Took a while, but still dropped sooner than Scott's second testicle. So it was pretty impressive. At the beginning of the episode, Scott said that Twisters is the #1 disaster movie of all time. I don't know. I thought Schindler's List was a little better.
Not in the quality and the money that it made.
Disaster movie.
Okay.
Scott said he predicted his dog's weight, and spoiler alert, not even close. Kind of suspected you weren't good at guessing weight when you told me you were around 180. Sarah said that her ghost tour was traumatizing for her daughters. See, now ghosts don't scare me because just like the notion that Joe Biden is running the government, don't really believe in it. Don't really believe in any of that hoopla. Hoopla! And lastly, so Scott asked if Lewis has lights under his car. Now, that's actually illegal in Florida to have lights under your car. Didn't know if you knew that. Yeah, it's actually illegal. You know what's not illegal to have under your car in Florida? Protesters. Fun fact. It's totally legal to run over protesters in Florida. Those are my cliff notes.
Oh my God.
You know what's funny? I think the best jokes are the jokes that don't even have the punchline is just the truth.
Right.
Right. It's like I literally just stated 2 facts. And it's so funny that it's actually true.
Yeah.
None of anything that I just said is not real. That is all real.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything exciting coming up on the upcoming week? Darren, if you want to go to a protest, I'll drive you there. Sarah, where can our listeners find you?
You can find me on the Instagram at Old Soul Thrift or on the TikTok at SuperSarah94.
Darren?
I guess under Scott's car. Darren_buffet on Instagram. We'll bring you my link tree.
And Chris?
You can find me on Instagram at Chris Yob or on TikTok at Chris Yob. N as in no, N as in new, F as in friends.
And you can connect with all of us. All of our social media links are right there on our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, check out our really sweet merchandise, join our clubhouse, become a friend with benefits for as low as $2 a month, and you can win all sorts of cool prizes, get cutting room floor. I usually release the episode early for our $5 and up Patreon members. Also, if you listen to us on Spotify, Apple, or anywhere where you can leave a review and rating, please leave us a 5-star rating and a review. Really helps us out. We really appreciate it. Also, we're on YouTube every single Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can watch us record these things live. It's raw. It's unedited. Nothing's left out. Even the stuff that Alex really has to cut, you get to see it. On behalf of Game Master Ryan, our producer Alex, Darren, Nick, Sarah, Chris, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Sarah, you got anything? You never end the show.
No, I don't. I could say it.
Say it.
Bye-bye, bitches.
That was hot.
It's not as good as Nick's, though.
You got to keep that in.
I'm going to keep all of it in.
That's what she said.
No new friends, just the